Alright, this video is on solving proportions, okay? And we agreed that proportions are the comparison between two equal rates or ratios, okay? So I'm actually going to go back to my example. 1 out of every 2 kids prefers math to PE, okay? So, again, 1 out of every 2. And then I told you that there were 10 kids, okay? And then, we counted the kids and we figured out that, there's going to be 5. But for right now, I'm not going to put that 5 yet. When I am solving proportions, I always have to have that equal sign, okay? If the two proportions aren't equal, if the two rates or ratios aren't equal, then it's not a proportion. So it must have the equal sign. Because if the two rates or ratios are not equal, then you don't have a proportion, okay? And this one is really easy because you have nice whole numbers that you can kind of do in your head. So I'm going to give you a strategy, though, that's going to work when you don't have nice whole numbers. This strategy involves baseball. I know, you weren't expecting that. Okay, so let's talk about how you can use the baseball bat method. Okay, so I'm actually going to write the baseball bat method. The baseball bat method to solve proportions. Okay, so in my example, which I know is a pretty straightforward example, but I'm just going to go with it anyway, of 1/2 equals 1/10. Okay. Here's where I find my baseball bat. Okay. I look, and again, this can only be done if I've got the equal sign. Okay. The two numbers diagonally across each other make the bat, and the one lonely number becomes the ball. Okay. So let's write this out in words. Okay. Step 1 is a diagonal oval connecting the numerator of one side with the denominator of the other. Okay, and that is the bat. Okay. Okay. Step 2, circle the remaining number. And that becomes the ball. Okay. And then I'm hoping I have room for the next. Okay. So step 3, multiply the bat. Okay. So the bat was 1 and 10, right? Okay. So 1 times 10 equals 10. And then step 4, I'm going to come all the way over here to make sure I have room. Step 4, okay, divide by the ball. Okay, so I had 10, right, there was the bat, divided by 2, which is the ball, equals 5, okay, and that is the missing number, okay. I know, crazy. So I am going to go ahead and point out, okay, that's the missing number. Okay, that's it. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you, I used to teach this differently, and so I'm kind of building this as a bridge video. So I'm going to tell you how I used to teach it. I'm going to use the same exact problem, okay? So, and I'm going to call this connecting the bat to, and the other thing I called it was the butterfly. Okay, and why am I doing this to you? Well, because some of my videos I use the butterfly, and so I'm wanting you to know what in the world I'm talking about. Okay, so the same example, 1/2 equals something over 10. Okay, and that something is an unknown number. Okay, well, the butterfly starts off like the bat. Okay, so, and then, again, this only works because I have an equal sign. Okay, and then I come up with, I multiply both sides, so 1 times 10 is 10. Okay, and 2 times something is, something. Okay, and these two things are going to equal each other. Okay, and then I want this x, this unknown number, by itself, so I divide by 2. Okay, and so what I'm left with is 5. Okay, I think I just confused you, and it's okay. That's why the bat is better. Okay, but what I did here was I multiplied the top and the bottom from one side and the top and the bottom from another side, and then I said, well, these things are going to be equivalent. Okay, and then I kind of solved for it. And it's just something that's true anytime there's an equal sign between two fractions. You can do this butterfly business. Okay, you just didn't know that you could. Okay, so you agreed with me that 1/3 equals 3/9. Well, 9 times 1 is 9, and 3 times 3 is 9. Okay. I bet you agree that 1/4 equals, well, if I have 12 over here, 4 times 3 is 12, 1 times 3 is 3. Okay, well, 4 times 3, 12, 12 times 1, 12. Okay, so the butterfly helps you know that when you multiply the denominator from one side with the numerator from the other side, it's going to be the same as kind of the flip, the numerator from the other side and the denominator from this side. And so with a proportion, you can find missing numbers, like right here, if I was missing the 3, so if I had 1, 3, okay, so I know that that's going to be a 3 there. I know whatever this number is, okay, I know it's 3, but if I was trying to use the butterfly to help me, well, I would know that 3 times something equals 9. But how do I figure out what that something is? And the way I do that, and I did it with a line here, so divide by, if I divide both sides by 3, then I find out that that number was 3. Okay? But what I found with the butterfly was that people got confused, like, so I've got this 3 times a number equals 9, and so I went and talked to some other teachers, and I was like, how do I do this? And they were like, use the baseball bat. So now I'm going to do baseball bat for you, okay? Because it's just simpler, okay? With the baseball bat. Oh, I just put the 3 there. I was supposed to leave this a mystery, like you don't know this number yet. Okay, that's the mystery. Okay, so you circle the diagonal that you have, okay, and then you circle the ball. Okay, so 1 times 12 is 12, and then you divide by the ball, and that gives you your missing number. Okay, I think that's easier, but you'll hear me in other videos talking about the butterfly. So you can turn butterflies into baseball bats, okay, right, like 1 times 9 divided by 3, oh, that number's going to be 3. Okay, so I really recommend just sticking with the baseball bat method, but I wanted you to know what the butterfly was so that, you know, if you hear about it in a video or if some other teacher explains it that way, I want you to have a, oh yeah, okay. I'm going to do one more example both ways. And again, I'm going to use some nice friendly numbers. So I'm going to do, let's see, we'll do 1/2 equals something over 4. Okay, well, I think you know that's going to be 2/4, okay, and I'm going to actually do the same one twice, okay, equals something over 4. So if I butterfly it, okay, then I make this into like an unknown number, and I'm like, well, 2 times some number equals, that's 2 times some number, equals 4. Well, to figure out what that number is, I've got to divide both sides by 2. So whatever this number is, that x equals 2. Okay? Now let's try the baseball bat. Okay? 1 times 4, and then there's the bat. So 4 divided by 2 equals 2. So what goes here? 2. So that is solving proportions, the baseball bat method, and a little segue into connecting the bat to the butterfly. I think you like the bat better, but again, some of my older videos include the butterfly, and so I needed you to know both.